You already know the memo. You already what ifs. This is gonna be remake part one. What if Deku was the first ghostwriter? The reason I call it remix is because he is gonna be the first ever ghostwriter. The thing is, I did some research on the first ever ghostwriter. I'm not gonna go that far, nor am I gonna, give him a mammoth. I'm not gonna give Izuku a ghost mammoth. For the love of fucking God. A hell mammoth, for Jesus Christ. He is gonna be the first ghostwriter. I am gonna give him a motorcycle like usual. I was either like thinking of it two ways, and I think this one's better, cause that way it would do. We start off with Izuku being 4 years old. You know the usual, him being quirkless. But the thing is, Hasashi's right there with him. When he asks, can he be a hero? Same thing happens with his mother. She cries and said, I'm sorry, Izuku. But his father said no. He said, Izuku, you can be a hero. You have to put in the effort and put in the work. Don't let people tell you what you can't and can be. You can be a hero. Just put in the work and effort. This cheered up Izuku a bit. So now Izuku's been training for 1 year to 2 years. When he was 6, that's when the incident happened. At the age of 6, they were home. No one was there except him and his family. A stranger knocked on his door one day. What's it called? Hasashi opened the door and was slashed, basically, with claws. Ingo ran up to him and said, Hasashi, no! Runs up to him, but realizes the big guy who slashed him. Hasashi basically told her to run to Izuku, get him out of here. So she ran to Izuku. Then she grabbed him. They jumped out a window, hurting Ingo's legs a bit, but she still kept running because of the adrenaline. After seeing what happened to her husband, what happened to everybody. Well, to her husband, period. Everybody. She's running, but the guy is coming up to him, or catching up to her. He's extremely fast, and no matter what she does, she can't get away. She ends up in a car junkyard. Hasashi's still on the ground, bleeding. He's trying to stop it, but he knows the wounds are too deep. At the end of the day, the guy caught up with Ingo, slashing her legs, then rips her limb by limb off. Time stopped for Hasashi. A man with a black trench coat comes up to him, saying, your wife has been killed. How sad. Your son is still alive. He looks up and he sees the man. The reason he could tell he was wearing a black coat was because of how far down it went to basically his feet. He realized his bleeding had stopped and got up. The man said, I could save your son and teleport him somewhere else, but in return, I want you to go to hell. I'll give your son a type of power, you could say. Hisashi wanting Izuku to live, but his wife is being killed, and even if he did teleport her, it will be far too late. Because all the limbs that were gone, and he's just one person. He tries saying, "Can you save my wife as well?" He says no. A life for a life, a soul for a soul. He brings out a contract, but he realizes he has nothing to write with. The man says, "Well, you have blood coming out of your neck. Use that." Hisashi grabs a bit of blood, but it drips on the contract instead of signing it. The guy said, "Oh, that will do. That will do." So basically, at the end of the day, Hisashi was dragged down to hell. Inko went whatever, and Izuku, the last words he heard from him, the guy who killed his mother and father, he went up to his ear and said, "You can't do anything because you're powerless, because you're quirkless and weak." Izuku was saying, "How did you know I was quirkless?" He said, "I know my ways of knowing stuff. I'm pretty sure your mother will make a good meal for me." Izuku said, "You monster." "I know I'm a monster, but you're just going to be another part of the meal. But before I kill you, I'll give you a little nickname to remember you by. Ghost. That will be your nickname. Ghost." Izuku's like, "I won't accept it. I'll kill you one day. I will take my revenge." He says, "Yeah, sure." Raises up his hand to slash him. But before he does, Izuku's been teleported to another place and feels something changing inside of him. He starts feeling hot, extremely hot. It's burning him. His skin starts melting. The meat is gone. All that's left is a child-sized skeleton. His clothes are the same, but for some reason, the clothes are growing with him. His size is changing. He's at least the anime, basically how tall he was in the canon anime. But still, but his eyes, there's no eyes. It's just a skeleton with clothes. Then his skull lights on fire. All there is just a flaming skeleton. And a roar of 1,000 lions, a roar of 1,000 bears, a roar of a demon. Now, Izuku has zero control for now. Izuku was homeless for 3 years. And every single time he fell asleep, he'll end up in another place. But for some reason, he'll feel not hungry anymore. He'll feel energized and everything. Izuku's 9 years old and on the streets. One day, he runs by an orphanage and they took him in. Every night, he would stay in the same bed and he was wondering why before he was going place to place. 2 more years go by and he's been training. But one of those days, one of those nights, when he moves around, He takes control. He sees his hand is a skeleton. Bones. No skin. No meat. Just a bare bone and fire. He touches his face. Nothing's there but a hard shell of rock. He's freaking out mentally. If he tries talking, he can't say anything. He looks behind him and he sees this thing, this monster. This monster says, "You are my host. I am Zarathos. Your father sold his soul to the devil for you to live, huh? Pathetic." It's like, Zarathos? The devil? Mephisto? Who are you? Zarathos says, "Again, I am Zarathos. I am the Ghost Rider." And then, through all this, it clicks. Why he was teleported to another place that day. Why he moved place to place. Why he felt stronger and faster. Why every single time he was bullied at the orphanage, he didn't feel anything. And Zuko says, my dad sold his soul to the devil to save me. He starts crying and crying, bawling his eyes out, saying, why did it have to be me he had to save? I'm a quirkless nobody. No one ever wanted me. The only two people that really loved me are gone. Nothing's here for me anymore. No one will have me. Zarathos says, exactly. Give up your soul and body to me. Let me take full control. So I could kill the people who wronged you. Zuko said, kill? I will not let you take over my body to kill. My dream was to be a hero. And I'll become one way or another. Zuko fought Zarathos. But the thing is, this is his body. So he was able to take control of this power. But he can't use it to the fullest because Zarathos made a deal with him. He said when he needs it, he will give him the power. When he doesn't need it, he will take it away. Zuko agreed to this deal. But little did he know, Zarathos was draining the kindness out of him, draining the heroism, draining everything about him that was kind and leaving all this bad. For some reason, every single time he does this, nothing happens to Zuko. All he does is makes it more powerful. The age of 12. Zuko has been running everywhere. He has no motorcycle because there was no motorcycle to get for him. He has zero control over the hell flame yet. And all he has is bare fist. One night when he changed, for some reason his change closed with him. He had leather boots, some new pants, leather jacket, and gloves on, with spikes at the end. Zuko says, this must be my new thing, huh? And Zarathos says, you're an idiot. You're a real idiot. Our name is the Ghost Rider for a reason. Zuko says, Ghost Rider? That is one good question. Where's the rider? We have no vehicle, no weapons, nothing. This day, another thing happened to Zuko. A man with a black trench coat comes up to him and saying, "So you're his son. I know what you look like. I've been watching you. I never knew this would happen to you. This is the first time anyone, has taken over the writer. But of course, you're the first one I ever gave it to." Izuku says, "Who are you?" "Well, I am the devil. I gave your father's soul to Mephisto. In exchange, Mephisto gave him, well, not him, but you, the chance to live and the power of the Ghost Rider. And you're using it for vigilante work, I see." Izuku says, "So what?" The devil says, "Here is a list of bounties I want. For each bounty you get and bring back to hell, I'll pay you kindly." Izuku says, "Money, huh? Heroes aren't supposed to work for it, but, well, vigilantes don't get shit for it, so if it's only bad people, I'll take the bounty list." Izuku grabs it and puts it in his leather jacket. He goes out. 1 week passes and he's chasing after one of the bounties in a car junkyard. There he sees a broken down motorcycle. He has the urge to touch it. Izuku touches it and it starts transforming into this sweet low rider fucking motorcycle. It was beautiful, Izuku said. And then Zeruto says, "Told you, rider." Izuku says, "I don't know how to fucking drive." Zeruto says, "No need. Your instincts will kick in once you touch it. Do you not feel something weird about you?" Izuku says, "Well, now that you mention it, yeah, I do kind of feel weird. Either way, we gotta get the bounty." He grabs the motorcycle and starts driving to the bounty. He drives and grabs him by the neck. He opens a gate to hell and throws him in there. Another gate of hell opens, a miniature one, with some money. Izuku grabs it and says, "This is a fat stack of money. I ain't gonna be greedy with it, but the orphanage is gonna kick me out one day. I might need a place for my own. So these bounties might do. Fuck it, I'll continue doing them." While there, he sees a broken down chain. It's just there, lying, rusted. Izuku grabs it. Zeruto says, "Infuse your hellfire." Izuku says, "I don't know how to use hellfire. Well, not yet, at least." Zeruto says, "Just use it." Izuku says, "If I melt it, I melt it." He infuses hellfire into it, but for some reason it isn't melting. In fact, it became stronger. The rust went away. Izuku said, "This is new." Izuku puts it on his motorcycle and starts driving to the orphanage. He parks his motorcycle in an alleyway and then talks to one of the people who runs it. Izuku asks to leave the orphanage because he got a job. The orphanage was glad to let him go, but not because they didn't like him. They cared for him, but the thing is they were running low on food and money and, things to give the kids. So basically, they said, "Okay, but I'm sorry you have to leave and everything, but good luck with your job, I guess." Izuku says, "Thank you. Have a nice day." He leaves the orphanage and goes to a hotel. He buys a room and gets settled in. 4 years go by. And Izuku finally got the vigilante name of the Ghost Rider. Izuku's been to one place to another, and one of them led him to a bar. At the age of 14, the bartender says, "You're too old to be here. What do you need, kid?" Izuku says, "You sold your soul to Mephisto, am I correct?" The bartender started freaking out. He says, "How do you know, kid?" Izuku says, "There's a bounty with your name on it, and I'm here to collect what is his. I'm here to collect your soul." He says, "Hey kid, I'm not ready to give up my soul yet. How about I give you another body?" Izuku says, "Nah, too late for that." The bartender pulls out a shotgun. Izuku grabs the shotgun, turns into the Ghost Rider, grabs it from him, uses the back end, the shoulder part, hits the bartender with it. Izuku says, "This is a nice shotgun. I'll keep it for myself." He takes him outside. But the thing is, there are heroes surrounding him because the bartender had a sort of silent alarm. So what Izuku does is that he starts driving away, but All Might's with him. All Might is on his tail because he doesn't have full control over the power because Mephisto refuses to. He starts driving and driving and driving until he gets away from All Might. He de-transforms in an alleyway and says, "That was way too close there. Gotta be more careful next time." He turns to the bounty, then Mephisto comes out, congratulating him for his 1,000 bounty. And gives him an extra bonus and everything. Cause Mephisto said, "Kid, I hope you know this is coming off my paycheck." Zuko says, there's a currency in hell?" Him saying, "Well, kinda. These are souls we're talking about and everything, and also I have a huge piles and piles of money in hell, so technically coming out of my paycheck." Zuko says, "Shut the hell up and go back to hell." Mephisto says, "Fuck you too," and leaves. After all that, he goes. He still attends middle school and everything. He gotta learn one way or another. He gotta go to UA. The part when the teacher comes in and says, "Let's see what you guys want to be," throws the papers in the air and says, "I know you all want to be heroes." The same thing happens, but the thing is, Izuku stands up, walks up to Bakugo, grabs him by the neck, and throws him to the door. Pins him to the... No, not pins him. Kicks him through the door, grabs his neck, pins him to the wall, and says, "Laugh again, I dare you to." Izuku gave him like that fucking stare. The stare that could burn technically anybody. Bakugo saying, "Let me go, you damn nerd." Izuku says, "Fine." He grabs his bag and leaves. The teacher says, "Hey, where you going?" Izuku gives him that stare. He says, "I'm leaving." Same thing happens again, and Izuku meets All Might again. And asks him, because to everyone else is just a quirk. To him, this is a villainous power or quirk. He calls it a quirk not to get anyone suspicious of his father selling his soul to the devil or his body and everything to the devil, going to hell to save his life and teleport him to somewhere else and give him this power and everything. So yeah, he doesn't say, can I become a hero from a power of a devil? He says, can I become a hero with a villainous quirk? All Might looks at him and says, you could be a hero with a villainous quirk. It doesn't matter what type of quirk it is. It doesn't matter how powerful. If you train hard enough, one day you'll be great. Izuku, shedding tears, starts saying thank you. Because those words reminded him of his father saying them. All Might leaves, but the reason he didn't find out about his, the flated form is because he had a little bit more time left. All Might starts patting his pockets and finds out he does not have the slime villain. Izuku was walking. He was crying, but now he's like sniffling. Thank you, All Might. He's walking towards the plaza to get to a bakery to get some, food, a little snack. And that's when he sees it. He sees Bakugo. The thing is, his mother and his father is there, seeing their own son dying. You see Izuku, and they say, Izuku? Is that you? I thought you died. Izuku's like, no matter that, Kachan. And then, for some reason, he had the urge to go Ghost Rider, but not for evil, but to save. Wait. Hopefully no one's here and he could please find my water because I'm a thirsty motherfucker for talking so much. Fuck. Sorry guys. Either way, where was I? He has the urge to turn into the Ghost Rider because he knows All Might isn't here. Because he said maybe he just thought he had it and then ran to the police station to give him it. But by the time he comes here, it'll probably be too late. I have to. So in the middle of the crowd, he turns into the Ghost Rider, and everyone sees the vigilante named the Ghost Rider. Kachan sees this, and the slime villain is scared. He's wondering, is this the same? He didn't see. Katsuki saw it because, he was looking at him in canon, I think. But still. What was I? Yeah. He grabs his chain. Well, not that. He whistles for his motorcycle, and the motorcycle starts appearing. He grabs his chain and throws it to the sludge villain and rips it in half. He lets go of Bakugo, and then Izuku, in a deep, raspy voice, says, "Get out of here!" And Bakugo says okay and starts running towards his family. Izuku runs up to the sludge villain, looks him straight in his eye, and says, "Your soul is stained by the blood of the innocent. Feel their pain." And this is the first time Izuku has ever used the pendant stare on anyone. He has seen Zerathos use it on people before because he has let him use his body once in a while to use it. But at the end of the day, he defeats the sludge villain and de-transforms from his Ghost Rider form and says, "So that's how it feels to use the pendant stare. It feels weird and my eyes are watering from the heat. But still cool." Mitsuki runs up to him, hugs him for dear life and says, "Thank you for saving my baby boy. Thank you for saving Bakugo." Bakugo says, "What are you doing, old hag? Leave the corkless loser. Leave Izuku alone." The reason he stopped is because he saved his life and found out he had this power hidden. Bakugo was like, no wonder he acted quirkless. If I had this power, I would have been afraid to show anyone. Because now he's thinking in his own way. He thinks, oh, he had this power, he may have not want to show anyone, so he acted quirkless to not show anyone this villainous power of his. But still, Bakugo apologizes when he leaves. When Izuku leaves and when the media starts rushing at him, All Might appears and gets in front of him, saying, "Go, kid, go!" Izuku starts running because he's not old enough to ride his bike. All Might saying, "Kid, what about your bike?" Izuku's like, "I'm not old. He's not old enough. He doesn't have the license." He says, "I don't have a license yet." All Might saying, "We'll talk about that later. Go!" Izuku starts running and running, and Bakugo, Mitsuki, and her husband behind him. They run. Mitsuki and her husband and the husband leave. Bakugo hugs him and says, "I'm sorry for everything I've done to you, Izuku." Izuku felt happy because he got something out of this, but he didn't do it for anything. But yet at the end of the day, he got something. He was happy, knowing that he was able to save his old friend's life. And then when he leaves, same thing as anime. All Might appears and says, You're the vigilante that we've been chasing." Izuku says, "Yeah, I am. So, what are you gonna do? Take me in now?" All Might says, "No, kid. I see potential in you. That's why I'm going to ask you. Will you be my successor from my quirk?" Izuku, with a blank expression, says, "What?" And it's up to you guys. You guys want me to give him all for one? Do you guys like it? I wasn't going to give him a huge ass ghost panther. Not panther, fuck. Ghost mammoth. I wasn't going to give him a huge ass ghost mammoth. So tell me if you guys liked it or not. And this. You heard it, you read it, you watched it. You know what to do, you guys. But have a lovely day, have a lovely night, have a lovely whatever time you're watching this. Don't get corona, and you know the usual.